Hey guys, when we left off yesterday, we left off with Via's point of view and how she felt about Augie. We hadn't much got to that point yet, but she's talking about how she doesn't really remember what it was like before Augie came and that everything is just the way it has to be. And she tries not to get upset about it or make a big deal of it, but sometimes things do get to us and hurt our feelings. So let's look on page 85, and it's called Seeing August. I never used to see August the way other people saw him. I knew he didn't look exactly normal, but I really didn't understand why strangers seemed so shocked when they saw him. Horrified, sickened, scared. There are so many words I can use to describe the looks on people's faces, and for a long time, I didn't get it. I'd just get mad. Mad when they stared, mad when they looked away. What the heck are you looking at? I'd say to people, even grown-ups. Then, when I was about 11, I went to stay with Grands in Montauk for 4 weeks while August was having his big jaw surgery. This was the longest I'd ever been away from home, and I have to say, it was so amazing to suddenly be free of all that stuff that made me so mad. No one stared at Grands and me when we went to town to buy groceries. No one pointed at us. No one even noticed us. Grands was one of those grandmothers who do everything with their grandkids. She'd run into the ocean if I asked her to, even if she had nice clothes on. She would let me play with her makeup and didn't mind if I used it on her face to practice my face painting skills. She'd take me for ice cream even if we hadn't eaten dinner yet. Oh, ice cream's my favorite. I totally understand. She'd draw chalk horses on the sidewalk in front of her house. And one night while we were walking back from town, I told her that I wished I could live with her forever. I was so happy there. I think it might have been the best time in my life. Coming home after 4 weeks felt very strange at first. I remember very vividly stepping through the front door and seeing August running over to welcome me home. And for this tiny fraction of a moment, I saw him not the way I've always seen him, but I saw him for the way other people see him. It was only a flash, an instant while we were hugging, so happy that I was home, but it surprised me because I'd never seen him like that before. And I'd never felt what I was feeling before either, a feeling I hated myself for having at that moment. But as he was kissing me with all his heart, all I could see was the drool coming down from his chin, and suddenly there I was, like all those other people who would stare or look away. Horrified, sickened, scared. Thankfully, that only lasted for a second. The moment I heard August laugh, his raspy little laugh, it was over. Everything was back to the way it had been before. But it had opened a door for me. A little peephole. And on the other side of that peephole, there were 2 Augusts. The one that I saw blindly and the one that other people saw. I think the only person in the world I could have told any of this to was Grands, but I didn't. It was too hard for me to explain over the phone, and I thought maybe when she came for Thanksgiving, I would tell her what I felt. But just 2 months after I'd stayed with her in Montauk, my beautiful Grands died. It was so completely out of the blue. Apparently, she had checked herself into the hospital because she'd been feeling nauseous. Mom and I drove out to see her, but it's a 3-hour drive from where we live. And by the time we got to the hospital, Grands was gone. A heart attack, they told us, just like that. And we've all had those things happen, things that just happen out of the blue, unexpectedly. Heartbreak that happens, it's hard to get through. It's so strange how one day you can be on this earth and the next day not. Where did she go? Will I really ever see her again, or is that a fairy tale? You see movies and TV shows where people receive horrible news in hospitals. But for us, with all our many trips to the hospital with August, there had always been good outcomes. What I remember the most from the day Grans died is Mom literally crumpling to the floor in slow heaving sobs, holding her stomach like someone had just punched her. I've never ever seen Mom like that. Never heard sounds like that come out of her. Even though all of August's surgeries, Mom always put on a brave face. On my last day in Montauk, Grans and I had watched the sunset on the beach. We had taken a blanket to sit on, but it had gotten chilly, so we wrapped it around us and cuddled and talked until there wasn't even a sliver of sun left over the ocean. And then Grans told me she had a secret to tell me. She told me that she loved me more than anyone else in this world. Even August? I had asked. She smiled and she stroked my hair like she was thinking about what to say. Oh, I love August very, very much, she said softly. And I can still remember her Portuguese accent, the way she rolled her R's. But he has many angels looking out for him already, Via. And I want you to know that you have me looking out for you. Okay? I want you to know that you are number one for me. You are my... And she paused for a moment and she looked out to the ocean and spread her hands out like she was trying to smooth out the waves. You are my everything. You understand me, Via? I understood her, and I knew why she said it was a secret. Grandmothers aren't supposed to have favorites. Everyone knows that. But after she died, I held on to that secret and I let it cover me like a blanket. Ooh, grandmas have favorites? Man, you know what? I was my grandma's favorite too. And that's hard because there's lots of grandkids. And I don't know why I was her favorite. Maybe it's just because I spent all the time with her. Who knows? Maybe it's because I look like her, acted like her. It's hard to tell. But guys, that's a tough one. If Augie ever found that out, how do you think he would feel? Now, tomorrow we have our Zoom conference, 12 o'clock, so we hope to see you all there. Don't forget to log in and check your dojo, your live grades, and also check the challenges out on Facebook. And this is a shout out to Peyton Wolford for doing all those IXLs online yesterday. He completed 129 questions. That's amazing. Also, remember to do your historical journal because we'll be asking to see some of those tomorrow. So we'll catch you later. Bye.